Why choose your own books that you're going to read next when you can have someone else choose them for you? Just kidding, kind of. To be honest, I just love doing this series of blank controls the books I read because oftentimes people pick books that I may have not normally picked for myself, so it's been like a really cool, fun experience doing a bunch of kinds of videos in this series. As you guys probably know, I've done Instagram controls the books I read, my boyfriend controls the books I read, and Booktubers control the books I read. And today we're doing Booktubers Choose My Reads again. This video is pretty self-explanatory. I DM Booktubers and then they respond back with a book that they would recommend for me to read, and then I read it and see what I think and if they have a good recommendation. And I've actually already gotten a response from my first Booktuber. The first recommendation is from Destiny Sidwell, whom I love. Her videos are so great, and she sent me a little video message telling me what book she's gonna recommend for me to read. So let's watch it.
Hello you guys, it is Destiny. As you guys may or may not know me on my channel over on youtube.com as you were watching this video. Anyway, when Ali reached out to me, she was like, hey, I'm having Booktubers pick the books that I'm reading. I was like, amazing, great. Quickest question, what fantasy books have you read? How do you feel about fantasy? And then when you told me that you have only read Shadow and Bone, I just felt that it was my duty as a fellow Booktuber and just as a person to recommend you this book. So some of you may see what's coming, but I am recommending you guys, but specifically Ali, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I absolutely fell in love with this book, and I just fell in love with the story. You will fall in love with the story, the characters, everything about it, and this is genuinely one of the best things that I've ever read in my life. The series just gets better and better as you read it, so Ali, I'm very excited to see what you think of this book, and guess what? If you don't like it, just lie to me. Just lie to me. But seriously, I can't wait to see this. I will be watching along with all of you guys.
Thank you, Destiny. Oh my gosh, I'm actually so excited that she recommended me Akatar because, like she said, the only fantasy book I've read is Shadow and Bone, which is kind of crazy that I've read so many books, but I just like haven't delved into fantasy yet. And I know A Court of Thorns and Roses is so freaking popular, so I feel like there's no way I can't love it. And I actually already own the book. Wait, let me go get it. It's literally been sitting on my TBR cart for so long, so this is like the motivation I need to now read it. So thank you, Destiny, for recommending me this book, and I will have Destiny's links and everyone else's YouTube links in the description so you guys can check out all these lovely ladies who were so kind enough to recommend me a book and be a part of my video. Yeah, let's get reading our first book, and then I'm gonna do something a little bit differently this time for the next two Booktubers recommendations, which I'll explain after I finish reading Destiny's Rec. Okay, I'm realizing that I don't really actually know much at all about this series, which I'm kind of surprised because I've heard people talk about the series a billion times, but I've always tried to avoid specifics because I didn't want to come across spoilers. So yeah, I don't really know much about the plot. I do know the character Raye, if I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, other than that, like I'm kind of going into this blind, which I feel like is kind of fun. So let's get started reading. Okay, I just read page 57 and I'm a little bit confused. What's happening seems way too good to be true. Basically, the plot so far is that Feyre is out in the woods and she kills this wolf that she's not supposed to kill, and this fairy comes seeking like retribution because of the wolf that she killed, and so the fairy takes her away to his land, which seems like a punishment, but she's kind of treated super great there. And it just is like, is he punishing her? If he's punishing her for killing the wolf, why is he treating her so nicely? Like, I feel like I'm on edge, just like waiting for the other shoe to drop, because surely this fairy cannot be that nice. Okay, I made it to page 130. Wow, I've been reading for hours. But so far I like it. So far I'm not like obsessed yet because I feel like there's a lot of world building of like the world, and then also there's like a ton of different kinds of creatures and like the laws of their world. So I'm just making sure that I can like keep everything straight. I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the plot to like really start. So yeah, do like it so far, not crazy obsessed yet. I just finished page 230 and I'm so giddy! This book is a fantasy and a romance, and I don't want to give any spoilers for what I just read that made me so happy, but it has to do with the romance aspect. So, your girl is happy because you all know I'm a romance girl through and through, so I'm so excited. Okay, it's only a few pages later. I'm on page 234 and we just got introduced to Raye and I'm surprised, confused / surprised. Again, like I don't really know anything specific about his character other than that he's heavily talked about on the internet. So I was just expecting him to be a certain way and he's completely opposite from what I thought. So I don't know. I'm intrigued where his character is going. Also, am I saying his name right? Raye.
Rysand.
Oh, like Rysand. The S goes with the rise. It's Rysand, not Rysand. Okay, that's way prettier. Turns out it's Rysand, or Rees for short. So I just said it wrong like 10 times in the video. But yeah, I ended up listening to the audiobook of a later book in the series and figuring out it is not Rysand. It's Rysand. Rysand. Yes. Okay, it's way later. I'm on page 278 and something is about to be revealed. I feel like it's going to be a big plot twist and I have a guess for what it is. I don't know if my guess is right, but I'm excited to update you guys whether or not my plot prediction is correct. I read at page 289 and I said last night that I had a guess and my guess was correct. I didn't guess everything in this big reveal, just like a part of it, but I'm kind of sad that I guessed it. I realized as I was reading that I actually do know some information about this book just from hearing about it so much, and the information that I know I didn't think was a spoiler. I thought it was just common knowledge, but I think it was like a light spoiler which allowed me to guess what happened in this chapter. So yeah, honestly, I feel like this would have been a hugely shocking plot twist if I didn't already know the information I know. I'm on page 313 and there's a riddle. Literally the more I read this book, I'm like, oh yeah, I did hear about a riddle. Like I know more about this book than I realized when I first started it. I've heard people say that the riddle is super easy to guess. And I do have a guess of the answer to the riddle, but I don't know if it's right. Like it doesn't quite fit all of the lines. So I feel like my guess is not accurate. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's all that has been playing in my head over and over and over again because I didn't see this part coming and I don't know what's gonna happen. I just paused to talk to you guys in a very intense part and I want to kill a certain character. I'm so upset. I'm sad and angry and I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Oh my gosh, I finished the book and wow. I feel like it deserves like a clap. My mind is like reeling. Wow. I feel like the first half of the book, I was like, okay, like 4 stars, like, you know, fantasy, world building, cool characters, whatever. But that ending, like I'm freaking out. 5 stars, 5 stars. Dang, I'm kind of sad that I picked this book first because I just want to immediately read the second book right now. But we have to move on to our other 2 books from our other 2 booktubers. I just want to read this whole series. Okay. If you guys haven't read this book, please read this book, even if you're not a fantasy person. Oh, also, I forgot to add, I did not get the riddle answer right. So it did surprise me because I didn't guess it. I actually ended up pausing filming this video to read the entire ACOTAR series because I was that obsessed. I'm currently working on a reading vlog for the entire series, so that should be out very soon. But yeah, I can't stress enough how much I love this series. The characters, the world building, the politics, the found family aspect, just everything is incredible. Anyway, I'll stop geeking out about the series. The next footage you're about to see is a few weeks later after I finished the whole ACOTAR series. Good morning! Now, before we go on to book number 2, I wanted to tell you guys a little something that I've added to my morning and night routine, which is Aura. Aura is a mindfulness and sleep app and the sponsor of today's video. I haven't really talked much on my channel about my own personal journey with self-care and my mental health, and in 2022 was definitely the roughest year for me mental health wise. I started really struggling with anxiety and that ended up really negatively affecting my sleep. The thing that I love most about Aura is that they have such a variety of mindfulness and sleep tools, from meditations, life coaching, stories, breath work, and so much more. I particularly loved that when you sign up, you fill out a quick questionnaire that allows Aura to personalize what tracks and tools may work best for you. I personally have loved exploring getting into meditation and listening to their stories to help you fall asleep. Both of those tools have been the most helpful for me personally. And you can get started completely for free using my link in the description. The first 500 people to use my link get a free trial and an exclusive 25% off discount code. For our second book and our third book, I'm doing something a little bit differently. In my last video, Alexa Raye and Sara Carrolli sent me 2 book recs each for me to pick one of them, and I read one of their 2 book recs in that video. So this video, I thought it'd be fun to read their second recommendation because I trust their book recs with my life, and if they sent me 2 book recs, I have to read both of them. I have to. So as a little recap, this is the video Alexa Raye sent me in my last Booktubers Choose video, and then we'll get started reading her book rec.
Hey Allie, thank you so much for including me in your video. I'm so excited to share 2 of my favorite books with you. The first one, I just couldn't help myself. It's a coho book. I feel like everyone just needs a little coho in their lives. So the first one I have is Confess.
This is the one I read last time.
By Colleen Hoover. This is probably like my second all-time favorite book by her. I just love like the whole art concept in it, and I also just love like the 2 main characters. They're so perfect. I know you're gonna love them too. And then the second book I have is Twisted Love by Anna Hong. This is another favorite book of mine. It's like one of my favorite book series of 2022, honestly. I just love the characters so much in this series. I love the friendships in this series. It's just one of my favorites. I feel like it's iffy. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I think you'll like it. I hope you enjoy my 2 book recs for you, and happy reading.
Thank you, Alexa Raye, again for sending that video. Rewatching her video makes me re-excited to start Twisted Love, which I bought. Her saying that it's one of her favorite book series of 2022 makes me so excited, and the fact that she pointed out that there's good friendships in this series. I love good friendships. Like sometimes I love like the good friendships more than the romance, so I'm really excited. And when I was getting Twisted Love, I also got Twisted Games, the sequel, because they were buy one, get one 50% off. So hopefully I love this book because I do already own the sequel. But yeah, I already read the summary of this book, and I know that it is brother's best friend and forbidden love. Let's get started reading Twisted Love. Okay, I just finished page 47 and I feel a little conflicted about the main male love interest, Alex. He's super overprotective, which I think there's a line where that's like really sweet for like the guy to like really care about the girl. And obviously if he cares about her, he's gonna wanna protect her. But I feel like Alex is overprotective to the point where he's like treating her like a child. Like she can't do anything for herself. Like she is her own person. I don't know. But I'm still early in the book, and sometimes I'll just like a trait about a character, and then as I go into the book, we find out more about like why they're that way, and that makes me see them differently. I'm now on page 161, and the spice in this book, swoon. I don't know. My opinion has changed a bit from when I first updated you guys about not loving Alex. I will say that I don't know if he's like my type of guy, but I think it works within the world of the book, especially considering like the characters are fictional. Like Alex has like a genius IQ, he has a gazillion dollars, he's been rich since he was like 14. One of the friends in this book is a literal princess. So I feel like now that I'm into the world of the book of the characters being a bit unrealistic and just accepting that, then I can get behind the characters and root for them. So I'm now rooting for the characters. But yeah, if you like that like overprotective, like very masculine, intense, kind of brooding guy, then you'll love this book. Holy moly, I just finished page 195. I've been reading for like 6 hours, but that should tell you how obsessed I am because I didn't plan on reading that much today. Anyway, the characters, they definitely have demons of their own. We don't like fully know the whole story of their like dark past, and we just found out a huge piece of info about Ava and her past, and I did not see that coming. I am actually shocked. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm all over the place. I just realized this book kind of matches my shirt. That's so cute. Wait, I kind of love that. Okay, anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow to maybe finish the book tomorrow. We'll see if I can do it 2 days. It is the next night. I'm on page 264, so I have like 80 pages left, and it is 10:30, so I'm trying to see if I can finish the book tonight. I finished the book, and the plot is like pretty unrealistic. Alex's character is pretty unrealistic, but at the same time, I devoured this book, and I definitely want to read the rest of the series. Again, I said this earlier, but I will say like Alex is not my type. but I think him and Ava worked like great together, so it was like fun to read about their story. I think the Goodreads overall rating for this book is like 3.8 stars, and I think that's a good rating. I will agree. I'm gonna also give this 3.8 stars. Alexa did message me and say that this is her least favorite book in the series, and I clearly enjoyed the book. If this is her least favorite in the series and I liked it, then I'll definitely love the rest even more, hopefully. Thank you, Alexa, for recommending me this book. I'm very glad I read it, and I will update you guys on Goodreads as I read the rest of the books in this series. And last but not least, I have a video from Sara Carrolli, as I mentioned with Alexa Raye's video. This is the video that Sara sent me for my last Booktubers Choose My Reads, and like I said, she recommended me 2 books. I read one of them last time, so I'm gonna read the second one this time, and yeah, just as a little recap, let's rewatch her video.
Hi! Okay, I have 2 book recs because I can't just choose one. But the first one is this book. I can't stop talking about it. I also can't stop thinking about it. It's a mystery/thriller, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. The ending, it's so good. I read this in one sitting. 5-star read. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors last time based off of her rec, and I really, really loved it. Would highly recommend. But then I also highly recommend this book. This is Heart of the Raven Prince. It's part of the Entangled with Fae series. This is the second one in it, but you don't really need to read them in order. I didn't. So good. These are all princess retellings, and this one is the Cinderella story retelling, but mixed with like magic and fantasy and fae, and it's just so good. The romance is so good too. Another 5-star read. But yeah, yay, happy reading. And I got the Heart of the Raven Prince book, so I'm so excited to read it. Like Sara said, it's a Cinderella retelling that meets the fae fantasy world, which sounds really, really interesting. And the summary says, a playboy prince in want of a decoy bride, a servant girl desperate for a disguise. I also really like the cover. It has some cool elements like the glass slippers, time, all like a nod to Cinderella. Okay, let's get reading. Oh my gosh. The pages of the book are falling out. Oh wow. Okay, I think it's just the first 4 pages, but the first 4 pages were not attached. Let's get reading the pages, literally. I just read page 106, and I am loving that it's a Cinderella retelling. I've never read a fairy tale retelling before, but I've really wanted to. And because I've never read one before, I wasn't sure how closely the story would follow like the OG Cinderella story. And I feel like it's a really good mix of being original, but still giving nods to OG Cinderella. Like they're going to a ball, the main girl is like forced to be a servant for her family, and she's got like the really mean stepmom, mean stepsister. So the like skeleton of the Cinderella story has been true so far. But again, they're in like the fae fantasy world, so it's also cool that we get this entirely new world that we don't get with the original Cinderella story at all. Also, I'll keep like holding up the book, and the pages that are loose keep falling out.
As we jazz lovers say, this routine is murder.
It is a really lovely day out, and something I've loved doing recently is going back and forth between physical books and audiobooks. So I just got the audiobook for Heart of the Raven Prince. So I think I'm gonna go on a walk and listen to some of the book. Also, people always ask me where I get my audiobooks. I try like 99% of the time to get them from my library. I use the library app Libby, or if it's not available at my library, then I either use Spotify, or I just got an Audible subscription. So I haven't used Audible a ton, so I'll let you guys know if I like Audible in a future video after I've used it more. But yeah, those are the places I get audiobooks from. I just read to page 244, and I think I'm gonna stop here for today because it is late, but wow, I am flying through this book. I feel like I rarely read almost 250 pages in one day. That's wild. But yeah, clearly I'm loving it because I'm reading it so fast. Number one, I love their banter. They're like enemies to lovers, which I feel like suits this book so well, especially because the main male love interest is a prince, so everyone just like fawns over him and like swoons over him. So the fact that he has met a girl who isn't swooning for him, doesn't even like him, is priceless. And then I'm also loving the fantasy element. I think 2023 might be my fantasy year. Day 2. Let's see if I can finish this book today. Okay, I read a page 308, still really loving the book. The only thing I'm a little bit nervous about is the characters. They have like such good chemistry, but they haven't spent that much like collective time together. And I'm just worried that they're gonna end up like falling in love before they've been able to spend a ton of time together. My like biggest pet peeve in books is insta love, or I know this book isn't insta love because they've already met and spent time together and they're not in love yet, but just if people fall too fast. Okay, so next morning, and I finished Heart of the Raven Prince last night. I really, really liked it. I love the whole world. I love all the nods to the original Cinderella story. I love the romance. The characters had such good chemistry, such good banter. I also love that there's a really strong plot outside of just the romance. The only thing I didn't like is almost the entire book takes place over a 2-week period, and I feel like the characters like really got to know each other, really opened up. But I wish it was just over like a little bit longer period of time, because I feel like 2 weeks is kind of fast to be like, you're the person I want to be with forever, like I love you, like whatever. So I'm gonna say, I'm so torn between 4.5 or 4 stars. I think I'm gonna say 4.25 stars. I don't know, quarter stars feels a little bit extra. It does really be feeling extra. I just feel like I've read so many books and I need more star options. So I'm gonna say 4.25 stars for now because I'm being indecisive. But I really, really liked it. Like, please read this book, and I 100% want to read the other books in the series. I believe there's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, a Little Mermaid retelling, and there's one more, a Snow White retelling. Okay, yes. No, I'm 1000% gonna read the rest of the books ASAP because I really loved this. And that is all of the books and booktubers for Booktubers Choose the Books I Read. Let me know what booktubers you would want to see next. I really want to do at least a 3rd episode in the series. I know this time I kind of repeated some booktubers from the first video, but next time I want to reach out to all new booktubers. I think that'd be really fun. So yeah, let me know who you would want to see in episode 3 of this series. All right, and with that, I will see you guys in my next video. And thanks again to all the booktubers who are a part of this video. I will have their channels linked down below. Bye!